Good morning, and it's Happy New Year. This is my first video, and getting straight into it, I'd like to recap video by video some of the big investments that I've done just to refresh and look at what we're expecting coming forward. So let's start with none other than Vulcan Energy Resources. Just to refresh, why Vulcan Energy Resources? First of all, it's in the heart of Europe. Um, there's a growing need for electric vehicles, growing need for lithium, especially based in Europe. We have geopolitical issues, domestic industry, development issues, Green Deal, etc., etc. Vulcan Energy Resources expects to bring renewable geothermal energy um, for 1 million people by 2030. And it expects to be able to produce lithium hydroxide for 1 million EVs. And it also expects to be able to offset 1 million tons of CO2 per annum. So that for me is a match between what the region needs and what the company is offering. Um, if we look at now, let's get into the finances. If we look at the current share price, it's 2023 was not a fantastic year in terms of the trajectory of the share price for Vulcan Energy. But looking at the metrics, we currently have a market capitalization of under 500 million Australian dollars, and yet the latest estimate for the NPV is still 4.3 billion Australian dollars. So, I mean, there's a potential 9x difference. Always remember there will be dilution. There are likely to be further equity raises, so it's not exactly that ratio, but nevertheless, significant upside. And if I remember correctly as well, within the lithium purchase agreements that Vulcan has entered into, there was a floor on the prices. So I know the current spot lithium price has reduced. It seems to have plateaued and potentially turning slightly. But within the contracts that Vulcan has got, there is a floor. So I think that provides good certainty there. But it's very good trajectory in terms of where the market cap is currently and what the potential market cap is just from phase one, remember, of the project. What I've also noted is that the broker recommendations continue to remain positive. That obviously is very good, Berenberg being one of the key ones. There have been some updates. In the one from Fintel middle of last year, we have, let's say, an average 1 year price expectation of around 13 Australian dollars. I checked that recently cross-checked that with the latest news or information from Refinitiv, and there the kind of average is just over $11. Let's take the $11, and those estimates, of course, take into account expected dilution and everything else. So looking at a price currently of under $3 and average valuation of $11, the latest. Even if you look at just that, it's pretty good runway for further gains. So what needs to be done to get those gains in? First thing is that in this quarter, if we get some really good news on the financing in terms of the structure of financing, the confirmation of other parties to the finance, I think that will be a significant fillip to the company, the valuation, and give it a good runway towards production. you've got all these different milestones here as well. They've done the bridging study, which was very positive. Um, the central lithium extraction optimization plant. You've also got the central electrolysis plant to come as well, and the other milestones. So we've got an indication of the milestones and dates. If we get news on finance, and if we continue to get positive news in meeting these milestones, and with the expectation of getting into production, let's say mid 2026, I think as we tick off the milestones, it should be good progress for the share price and valuation as well between now and 2026. Obviously, valuation purely in the market depends on supply and demand sentiment. There's no control over that, but at least intrinsically, it's all going in the right direction, and we've got some milestone guidance. I think that's really all I wanted to cover today. And recapping, in the coming weeks, coming months, let's wait to watch and see what Vulcan comes up with. But I've thrown out some metrics, I've thrown out some expected valuations, and some target dates for key milestones, of which I expect the key one to watch out for in this Q1, finance. Okay, good luck to you with 2024. And of course, we're watching Vulcan Energy with great interest. Have a nice day.